Hello there, I'm Romina. I'm a metalsmith from Chile and I moved to Portugal 2 years ago. I've been struggling to find proper suppliers for everything here. So today I want to show you four different suppliers that I managed to find, but it's still all scattered, having to buy things from different suppliers in different countries. So to start, a local supplier called Lingold. And here I bought this huge borax thing, and I used to use like only this or buy only this amount back in Chile. But this is like the only size I can find here, so I had to buy this huge one and some silk for beading pearls and little stones. Now, AliExpress. It's always a good option for weird materials or new stuff. So I bought these hairpins to try and do some new designs with mixed materials. And I've been testing them, they're super comfortable. I'm actually wearing these all day. And little glass squares. These are just plain glass. And I want to try using them in my designs by carving drawings on the back of them and use them as like Art Nouveau styled jewelry. One of the biggest purchases of this is from Cookson Gold. And actually I buy most of my wires from Cookson Gold because it's really comfortable. I could actually make it by myself, but the round wire it has a really good quality and it's way more comfortable to buy it already made. If I had to make metal sheet, it's not that hard, but for a round wire, it's so much work to make it that I prefer to buy only the sizes I actually use. I usually buy 1.2 millimeters, 1 millimeter, a little bit of 0.9, a lot of 0.8 is the one I use the most. 0.7, and I'm doing some beading work, so I'm actually using a lot of 0.6. Another thing I like to try from Cookson is the different kind of bezel designs. These weren't really available back in Chile, so I'm really enjoying to try them out little by little because they're really expensive and you can put such tiny details on some of the designs with this. But this time I bought two new ones and they're so pretty. Other things I got from Cookson is these parallel pliers. I've never had one of these and I tried it like once already since it arrived and I think it's so good. And this is my Widia marking pen. And this has exchangeable tips. So my tip was really damaged and this has replacement tips. So you can take this out, change it for a new one and put it back in. Also has a magnet here, so it's really useful. And this thing. I really needed this for a custom design and you will know why at the end of the video. My fourth supplier. It's actually a company from Spain, which I was told to you about by my friend Jose. Love you, Jose. I was really struggling all this time to find a good supplier for chains, silver chains, and other little findings. Even Cookson has some findings. They're kind of expensive and not the best, not the right thing I was looking for. But this store has everything, absolutely everything. The only thing is that you have to make an order from 100 euro, like the minimum, because it's for mayoristas. It's actually called mayorista plata, which is like for retailers. I don't know how to say it. It's like for buying huge quantities of each thing. So I bought a lot of chains, silver chains, and they're really good. Other silver findings. I also wanted to test the gold-plated chains they have and other gold-plated little tiny bowls. These are silver and gold-plated. Also other little findings like for earring making. So this is it for this time. I have to find a way to organize everything again in my studio because I'm moving a lot of stuff, like a lot of furniture. I'm rearranging everything, so I have to find a way to actually separate all of these things again and keep them really organized. Hello there! So, I finished the rings last week, and at the last time, the bride decided that as they were so simple, she wanted something different. So, she wanted to do some engraving on the inside of the rings. And this was a little bit of a problem for me because I don't have many suppliers here, like local suppliers of engraving or stones and stuff. So this was a challenge. I really had to find the supplier, and I heard a long time ago that there was one in a gallery, like a really hidden gallery, and I just had to check it out, but it was really hard because last week there was a holiday here, so everything was kind of closed in the middle of the week, so it was weird. I had to go to work, so I had to balance that out. And finally on Friday, about Friday 5 p.m., I finally managed to go straight from work really fast to the gallery, and actually it's like really close to my home. I don't know, I was just too tired, too nervous because I have to speak in Portuguese to random people I don't know and go to a hidden place I don't even know if it existed or not. So I was really nervous the whole week, and I finally managed to be brave, and I'm so glad I did it because they didn't have like a website or anything. Anything here has websites. Like, there's no suppliers with good social networks, so I have to find them, like asking people and exploring. That's crazy for me because everything is really modern in Chile. So I'm surprised how analog everything is here. So anyways, I managed to find the place. So I was like, okay, I can see jewelry here. I have to ask him. And I was so nervous, like, do you engrave wedding rings or silver rings? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, yay! So yeah, I finally managed to find that supplier, and it's really close to my home. I was also nervous about the prices and the time because we're on kind of a tight schedule for the wedding rings. They don't live in the city, they came from Lisbon to measure their rings, and they're going to get married in Denmark. Anyways, I finally managed to engrave the rings. I sent them to engrave on Friday p.m. I went today is Monday. After work I had to run a lot, and I managed to get them. Whee! To make these wedding rings, I actually wanted to test first because they're really thick. So I did a little test run with a little ring for myself. The customers wanted some really simple rings, and I agreed to that, but honestly I prefer to do way more interesting stuff. So I did an extra version, not for them but for myself, on what I would have done if they wanted something more creative or different. So I ended up with this little pinky ring, which has 7 little stones in different sizes, lots of tiny holes and silver beadings. Because the custom wedding rings were matte finish on the outside, I think this looks really great because it brings a little bit more shine. Also, So I think it's gonna be called Pleiades because of the stars. My boyfriend actually said like, oh, it looks like a moon crater. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.